Welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill here, driving up to Mulwala, Club Mulwala with Billy Stiles. Hello, Billy.
Hey, how you going, Dave? Good to be on.
Mate, this is the debrief podcast, Billy, and we are driving to Mulwala, Club Mulwala, which is on the border, across the river from Yarrawonga.
Yeah.
And your sister lives there.
Yeah, sister lived there, and I used to go there to Club Yarrawonga for holidays every Christmas when Jimmy Hannon was on the ads.
Oh my God, Jimmy Hannon, yes. So you're in your 40s, you must be.
In my 40s. Timeshare. Dad got timeshare.
Timeshare, wow.
Club Yarrawonga. So we had one week of January every year. I remember being there remember when the space shuttle
exploded.
In the
80s.
I was at Club Yarrawonga that week.
Jeez, memories.
Yeah, you remember stuff? Like
yeah, of course.
Where you're at.
Wow. Well,
and there was a joke. Do you remember the joke that came out about that straight away?
I can't remember it, but I remember there was one.
What does NASA stand for?
Oh, not enough.
Need another
space astronaut.
Need another 7 astronauts.
That's right.
That week it came out.
It's pretty.
Who's writing those jokes?
Yeah, who is writing those jokes?
They come out real quick.
Because also, you'd imagine it would be an American Tonight Show, but they wouldn't have done those jokes. There's no way.
No, it'd be some guy. But how does he get them out?
Someone must have repeated it on radio, because that spread through the schoolyard pretty quick.
Yeah, I reckon that was out by the time we got back to school. So in Feb.
Yeah.
That joke would have come out the next week. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No internet, but get the word out.
But back in those days, things like that were a massive event. There was nothing else going on in the world. So
we gathered round the tally.
Yeah.
To watch it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It feels like you've got a good TV at the time, but then you look back at if you look at the TV from then now, you hardly better see.
Yeah. Shit house. It was shit house.
Like
I remember getting up to change the channels for Dad. Get up, change the channel.
Turn the knob.
The clunk.
Knob. And then my granny got like a digital remote.
Wow.
And all it had 6 buttons. It had volume up, volume down, sound up, sound down, on, off, and mute.
Yeah, wow. That was it. Well, that's all you needed, mate. So, and one of the reasons Brad Oakes was meant to come with me, who's a regular on this podcast, but he's scared of the river, he's told us. So, like old man Oakes. I put you on because we were meant to do this gig in January, but because of COVID it got shut down because it's just over the border. And so it's back on, and then Oakesy pulled out and said, you're doing it now.
Yeah, I'm replacing Oakesy off the bench.
Yeah, you're off the bench, so it's good to have you. Because you haven't been in comedy for that long. How many? 5 years, you said?
Yeah, about 5.5. I know when I started because it was terrifying. February the 28th of 2015, I would say.
Where was your first gig?
I did the Raw. I entered Raw. I didn't know how to start comedy.
No, well, who does?
Yeah, so I just Googled and that came up. And so I entered it. And I had 6 months to...
Shoot yourself?
To shoot myself.
And where was that? Was that at the Evelyn or somewhere? Or
that was at the Howler.
Oh, Howler, yeah.
But I tried to sabotage it.
How?
I tried to go out the night before and just have the biggest night of all time so that I wouldn't wake up.
Who made you do comedy then?
My sister made me do it.
Right. Is this a sister who's going to be here tonight?
No, it's another sister. This is my sister, Anna. Convinced me to have a crack at comedy.
Because you've always been funny?
Yeah, I went to her when I was like 40 and said, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, so have you got any idea what I should? I go, because clearly I can't work it out, And I said, have you got any idea what I should have a crack at? And she said that, without even blinking an eye, she said, do stand-up comedy. So...
Yeah, and I've seen you a few times and you are good. You're very good, so... Yeah. You're a bit of a natural, I reckon, so...
Thanks.
You must have been funny for a long time.
I think I was funny at parties and... I drank a lot and partied a lot, and so I was always sort of... I knew how to crack a joke. But I never wanted to do... Like, there's people that do comedy that say they always wanted to since they saw it on TV when they were 8.
That's right.
I'm like, no, that was never. I'm terrified of speaking. Like I used to wag school if there was a school talk you had to do.
Oh, okay.
Like I've failed whole year levels because
You wouldn't talk.
I couldn't speak. Yeah.
Yeah, I love public speaking. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I was one of those guys. But then you did the gig. Your sister made you. She drove you there. What happened?
She drove me, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
And who was hosting?
Dave Thornton, I think.
Thorno.
Yeah, Dave Thornton.
Oh, he's good. He's great.
He was good.
Yeah.
So I did it. She made me go to it. So hungover, but it went really well.
Wow.
Because I was so scared, I'd rehearsed a lot.
Yeah.
So I was in my.
Just got to get those words out.
Yeah. So I just got the words out. I think I had a couple of beers before it to steady the nerves, and it went real well.
Did you get through to a heat or something?
I didn't get through a heat though. So,
No.
I mean,
But you knew it went well.
I knew because I could tell by the crowd.
Yeah.
And I didn't get through, but people were coming up after it saying,
Yeah.
"Dude, you got ripped off.
Yeah.
Why aren't you through? What are they looking for?"
Well, they're probably looking for diversity.
Yeah, right.
In raw comedy.
I'm not diverse. So.
You're not diverse. You're a white older man. You're not that old, but you're middle aged.
Yeah. So.
But when I met you, I didn't know because you wear a hat on stage. You look younger than you are, I reckon.
Yeah. I've always looked young, so I'm lucky there. And I've always acted young, so I think.
Yeah, right. So then you just started doing gigs, or?
Yeah, and then I started trying to. I got into the scene,
Open mics.
Did a few, but then you have I think my third gig was atrocious, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
But
my first gig was great at La Joke, comedy night, and then my second one was terrible.
Yeah, I think my second was good, and then my third was where reality hit me in the face.
But that's the thing about starting out, is that you don't have the consistency of a headliner because there's just lack of experience, and also you've only got 5 minutes of material to go to.
Yeah.
So if you walk in and they're all old ladies, you're like, well, I'm still going to do my wanking on the couch routine.
Yeah, that's it. You need those bombs.
You need a bit of variety.
You need to have those bad experiences to get better, but they are a shock when you start.
Oh man, some of the ones you're just so embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
The awkward walk. And if you go and do corporate stuff too early, or even footy clubs, they can be brutal.
Yeah,
brutal.
Oh yeah. The one that I bombed at on the third, I walked straight off the stage and out the door.
Oh, good.
There was no goodbye to anyone.
Nah.
I'm in the car going home. Just
early on, I did a gig. They used to have a lot of TAFE uni gigs when there were still student unions, and Howard got rid of them all. And I did one at Lilydale TAFE at lunchtime, and I would have been 5 years in, I reckon. And my mum was working there.
Yeah.
So she came along with her friend, and it was a classic. Well, it was a TAFE gig at lunchtime in the cafeteria. It was absolutely fucked. And we were talking about this before we started, but you're just imposing comedy on people that are just trying to have their lunch and do their, plumbing course or whatever. And Mum's friend said to me afterwards, "Have you ever thought about going back to teaching?" That's what that was.
And that was 5 years in.
Oh yeah, that was. But they were the TAFE lunchtime gigs were some of the most brutal. And I remember when I was at uni, and then I worked at TAFE because my dad was a TAFE teacher. And that's why Mum was working there. It was jobs for the relatives. Yeah. Some of those gigs I saw were just brutal. Yeah. And you look back, and some of the comics were very good comics.
Yeah.
But they were honestly standing on a table in a TAFE cafeteria at lunchtime where no one knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, there's a reason you have to set a gig up, isn't there?
Yeah.
You can't just give up someone a mic and go get on with it. It doesn't work that way. That's what the MC's for, to take the bullets.
Yeah. To lie on the barbed wire so everyone can walk across them.
So you were heading in from Mitcham to the city most nights of the week?
No, I'd moved out. I'd moved out. I was 24 when I started comedy, and I was living in a shared house in East Melbourne, Collingwood, opposite the Prince Pat Hotel, where they used to have...
Yeah.
I've talked to you about this before. Because you came and saw me and Hughesy there.
Yeah. I was just saying, that's one of the only gigs I've ever paid for. was that night because I like both you blokes from the radio and stuff.
Yeah, that's funny. That would have been 90s.
Yeah, I know it might have been.
Early 2000s?
It was during the week, and me and a mate snuck in there for a few midweek beers. Me and my mate Ben, and yeah, I don't know. I was used to do your work. I think.
Yeah, Hughesy, I went on last.
Yeah, you were the headliner.
Yeah, that's when Hughesy was my support act.
Yeah,
very short period of time, but
a short window.
Yeah, we were on Triple R probably, or maybe Triple M. No, probably Triple R.
Yeah.
And well, I used to live opposite that pub, and before I started doing comedy, I would go across there occasionally to see comics.
Yeah.
Like Mark Little and the Found Objects and
so that was a regular comedy night.
Oh yeah. They used to have the cheese shop there too. This guy, Dave Tarano, was a big comedy aficionado who unfortunately died.
Yeah.
He used to run these nights, and I used to work there a fair bit. Yeah. And then in the comedy festival, you could do your comedy festival show there, and it was a good vibe at Prince Pat.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. So what? So you started in your 40s.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? Like,
mainly like jobs I hate a lot, like a lot of the time, all the time.
What? So manual jobs, like classic blue collar stuff.
Yeah, just no skill like involved.
Yeah.
Just as long as you can lift something usually. But I've done I did door-to-door sales once.
Oh, you wouldn't enjoy that.
I was talking about it last night. I was selling these door holes that you look through to see if someone's at your door.
Yeah.
So basically, our job was to scare people into thinking they needed one.
Yeah, Chris Wainhouse used to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you knock on the door and you say, I could be anyone, I could be a burglar.
Yeah.
And you just open the door.
Yeah.
And then would you put them in?
Yeah, you'd install them, and sometimes you'd wreck someone's door because.
Well, you're not a carpenter.
You have to drill a hole in their door.
Yeah.
They're trusting you to do this. And
Yeah, you're not a carpenter.
No,
you don't know what you're doing.
I didn't last long doing that because I didn't like it either. I don't like selling. I don't like making people buy something.
Well, if you don't like speaking, selling is not your thing.
No, but I was desperate for a job at the time. Like my mate, I was at a wedding and my mate's like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Come and do it. And I'm like, oh, all right.
I love it.
But you basically had to scare the old ladies into buying them. So I hated it. It didn't sit well.
How much for a...
They were I think they were $30 each.
Cheap
as. So
cheap.
And I'll put it in now.
Good price. I'll put it now for you.
I'll put it now for you. Look.
Yeah, Wainhouse said he ruined a door too.
Yeah, because there's these doors with nothing in between the wood.
Yes.
They're hollow.
Yes.
And the drill would just go bang straight through the back. And the lady would be standing there when you did it and you'd be like, oh, that's not meant to happen. So we had to replace a lot of doors.
Really?
Yeah, you'd have to replace the door. Yeah.
Got to have pissed off with your boss be when you said, oh.
I've done a door, mate, yeah. So that didn't last long.
No.
But
well, I think comedy is a good thing for you then. If it stops you from doing jobs like that.
I mean, if I can make a living out of it, yeah, it'd be alright. It'd be a lot better than what I can make in comedy is what takes me a whole day or whatever.
Yeah,
I have a day of something I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mate, to quote the great man Hughesy, where else are you going to get $500 for half an hour work? Where else?
Yeah, exactly.
Said, what, a plumber? Well, apart from a plumber,
pretty...
a surgeon? Well, apart from a surgeon, lawyer, accountant. Well, okay.
Yeah, sometimes I get paid and tell the guys at work what I get for 20 minutes or whatever, and then they can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
No. They've been at this place. Blokes that have been there 20 years, you know.
Well, yeah, those jobs, I mean, when I left school, but I did HSC and I was waiting for my results, and me and Robert Popovic and Jeffrey Persich got a job in the tile factory in Mitcham.
Yeah.
And me and Robert both passed. He's a surgeon now, or an anaesthetist or something. He was very smart. He was that really smart kid at high school.
Those ones.
Him and his brother both got their license without having lessons from a driving instructor.
Yeah.
They just taught themselves. And anyway, we both passed, but Jeffrey didn't pass. And I said, so what are you going to do? He said, I'll just stay in the factory. So he could still be working there.
Yeah, my first job was Ford production line.
Oh.
Horrific. 746 bumper bars a day.
The one in Broadmeadows?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was disgusting.
How old?
I was 19, I think.
Oh, you know you're living.
And you could smoke. The upside of the job was you could smoke on the production line. And I was a smoker back then, so I just put headphones in and just smoke darts.
What
all
year?
day.
What year was this? You reckon? What year was that?
92, I reckon.
Oh, 92. So a little bit of Nirvana on the line there, a bit of 90s rock.
Yeah, hunters and collectors.
Hunters.
Yeah, just all that rock stuff. Like,
Well, you got to be able to hear it over the bloody noise.
I think I'd have Triple M or Triple M was around back then.
Yeah.
That station, one of those stations. Yeah, just playing.
Noisy.
Smoking ciggies. And then, but I remember the bloke got presented with his 50-year gold watch, and like they stopped the production line, and we went, and his name was George, and they give him a watch, but like while he was getting his watch, the line started moving again, and we had to all run back. So he didn't get to make a speech, George. I don't think he had much to say. And that was the moment I decided. I looked at George with his shoulders hunched over, and I'm like,
you don't want to be that.
I'm going to my Wollabah in 6 months.
So you came from a blue collar family then, I'm guessing.
Mum's a teacher.
Yeah, right.
Dad's like a sales man.
So not that blue collar.
Nah.
But working class.
Yeah. Just
right.
Middle of the road.
Bundura.
Not too
I picked
bad.
you up from your mum's house in Bundura.
Yeah. I'd like to say we were poor and I've battled through adversity, but we had a pool in ground.
Oh, we had above ground.
Yeah. So
Hang on, were you poorer than us? We're like poorer than you.
4-footer. You were poorer than me.
We had a 4-footer Clark Rubber.
Yeah, 4 foot. Ours was an 8-footer in the deep end and 4 in the shallow.
Did you have a beach house?
We did go to one, but we didn't own it.
okay.
We didn't own it. It was like cousins owned it.
My parents own a beach house.
Oh,
In
so
Cape
you're
Patterson.
richer than me then.
Well, I don't know how, because Mum worked a bit, but she was essentially a housewife.
Yeah.
And I'm 56, and so
Yeah.
I went to Dad's retirement party when he retired from TAFE,
Yeah.
and he was getting, this was the 90s, 30 grand a year as a TAFE teacher, and he'd paid off 2 houses.
So he would have been, was he paying 2 houses off at a time?
I don't, look, the block of land the block of land in the beach house was $400,
Yeah, okay.
but that was a long time ago, so.
Maybe beach houses weren't as
No, they
expensive.
weren't. And also, he was selling heroin on the side, so it's like Breaking Bad. I'm like, no, Kev. I don't know. He was just we were never poor. I can never remember.
Did you have how many brothers and sisters?
There's 4 boys in the family.
Oh, that's a few. So we had 6. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
So it doesn't matter how much you make if you've got 6.
But your parents were probably from a working class background, were they? Were they from a poorer? Did they talk about? My dad used to talk about living in the slums and.
Well, my dad's side of the family was rich, but like his old man blew all the money.
Oh yeah.
Like they owed money, but they blew it. He was
Wow.
a gambler, and Hoddle Street's named after like my great
Wow.
grandfather.
The Hoddle Street. Yeah, right.
The
okay.
Hoddle. His name's Robert Hoddle.
Oh.
So I'm essentially named after that dude. But none of the money got through to us, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
Dad's dad blew it.
Did your dad go to a posh school, for example?
No, I think it was almost the money by the time Dad went to school was gone, and his dad was just drinking.
Oh, that's no good.
And the other side were horse racing.
Yeah.
Horse racing bookies and stuff.
Yeah.
But they training greyhounds. The gambling side was on Mum's side.
Training greyhounds.
Yeah.
It's funny. I had Tommy Little on the podcast, and his nana they were into greyhounds too. So.
Were they? Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of money to be made in greyhounds.
Sure. Our granny trained an Australia Cup winner.
Ooh.
I think it's the biggest race, but I'm not sure how much money was in it though.
Well, we're going to Moala, and who knows what they've sold 160 tickets, so that's pretty good.
That's good.
Because you've been to the Anzac room.
Yeah, I went to the Anzac.
Lest we forget. And I want you at the start to do minute silence for us. That'd be awesome.
Most of my jokes get a minute.
Yeah. You might do that unintentionally. and it's quite a big room.
Yeah. I saw Baba there.
You saw Baba there?
Baba, and it was empty for them, so.
Well, Trish, I spoke to from the Moala Club, said they have to space it out a bit because of COVID.
Yeah.
But they're going to put the tables close to the stage.
All right.
There's no dance floor. So look, we'll just do whatever we can.
There's 160. That should fill a bit of the space.
Yeah, and mate, that was yesterday morning, mate. There's been at least 40 more tickets sold, surely.
200.
And it's in conjunction with a football club function, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
The Yarrawonga Pigeons.
What else are they going to do on a Thursday in Yarra?
Not
and
much.
Mulwala. There couldn't be much going on.
No, we're in.
Apart from the local.
So keep listening. We'll tune back in and we'll see how we go. We'll let you know. We have to go do the gig. You guys are just listening. We're gonna go to Mulwala.
Do the hard work.
Here we go. Where are we? What is that over there?
I don't know. It's a power station or something.
We're in the middle of nowhere. There's no cars on the road. Everyone couldn't believe we were driving home from Mulwala.
3 hours.
Club Mulwala. What a gig. What a time.
We did in the outback, we did some gigs where you can't drive at night. The kangaroos.
Oh, that bad?
Yeah, we don't. It's not like that down here, but up in the outback, you can't drive past a certain time at night.
Yeah, they all
Kangaroos,
just massive.
They
Yeah.
congregate on the road and they'll wreck your car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, they did say warn about the roos, but gee, we're in the middle of an industrial
Yeah, I think
landscape.
Vanilla, sort of.
Vanilla.
Yeah, the back.
Bloody, there's a good cake shop in Vanilla. Oof.
They
Walk
do.
go Vanilla.
They do good cake shops in every country town, don't they?
Man.
Yeah, it's got like, sometimes it says like, our famous vanilla slice.
Yeah,
It's not famous.
not famous.
It's a vanilla slice.
Well, Glenn Robbins, a famous apple case in Glen, Robbins said to his local, why is it famous? I don't know. Because he goes, I'm famous, but why is... And the guy goes, I was in the local paper once. Oh, fair enough. Okay, all right. Had to write up in the local paper. All right, fair enough. Melbourne via freeway, there we go. But anyway, it was, it was a pretty mixed crowd tonight.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of the pigeons there, which is a local team.
Yeah, we had the youngsters.
And they were so well behaved.
Were they laughing? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, look, as we said, it's kind of a long room, and I think they were laughing a bit.
Yeah. Well, they hung around. They didn't.
They hung around, and they normally start talking, those young kids,
Yeah.
but they were pretty well behaved.
Yeah, they
It's a
were
country thing.
And there was a good mix of Melbourne people up there too.
Yes,
So you can do your local stuff.
local
as well.
stuff, and yeah, they were great. They were a great crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good crowd. But anyway, here we are. We're travelling home.
So that went good. I give it 7.8.
No, you did good, because it's hard going on first before the headliner sometimes, because they're not expecting you. And they, as I was saying to you before we started taping, I used to support David Strasman. And sometimes you walk on, you hear someone go, "Oh, fucking who's this?"
Yeah. And
oh, is that the right? Where's the guy with the puppets?
and like emceeing's not my thing either, because like I'm not energetic,
No, you're a bit deadpan, but you still did well.
I tell you, I sparked up a little. I tried to spark up a bit,
No, you were good.
try and connect.
Connect with the punters, mate.
Yeah. So it was all right. My sister gave me the nod of approval, so that's good.
One of your 6 sisters.
One of his, 5.
5.
5? 4.
How many sisters have you
Well,
got?
I've got 4.
Oh, you got 4.
I've got a brother, so there's 6
That's
altogether.
right. That's right.
Yeah. So she.
Does she like comedy, your sister?
Yeah, she doesn't get out much. She goes
6
to
kids.
Bed. She goes to bed early, and they don't get comedy much.
They got 6 kids, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
But she was saying like, comedy looks like the hardest thing in the world to do.
No, try having 6 kids. I reckon that's bloody hard.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Man, I'd rather go into a gig than look after 6 kids.
That's what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have 6 though. Her kids are young, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like 2 to 8 or whatever.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Yeah, I know. I'll get their names eventually.
Mate, no, that's good. Well, so what's next? What are you doing? What's the next gig, Bully?
Swan Hill on Saturday.
Swan Hill. You do a lot of rural gigs, don't you?
So more kilometres. Yeah, I like them. It's a good.
But you're not from the country. You're
No,
from
I'm not,
Bundoora.
but I feel like I am. Like
Bundoora. You have a bit of a country drawl.
I've got an affinity. Like, I played footy up there and I just felt at home.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And people say, I say like I'd love to move to the country, and people are like, nah. Or like all my city mates, like, couldn't live there, too boring. I'm like, but you can pretty much do everything there that you do.
But also, you're not 20, you're not going out to the pub every night. Yeah.
As long as it's got a theatre or something, or like I don't know what I'd do different. I could live there.
As the woman down the road from me, she said about moving to the country, we'd miss all those things that we never go to.
Yeah.
That's true.
But what does she miss? Like,
well, this is right. She talked about the theatre, the art gallery, the zoo, whatever. But as she said, I never go to them anyway.
Yeah. So the things she'd never go to. No, I'd be fine, because I just wander down a local footy on a Saturday. If I could still do gigs around, I could still leave. And I don't know. I think
You could move somewhere remote and just nail that market.
yeah.
Go to,
I'll go live in a cabin somewhere.
Like the Unibomber.
in the woods.
write a
I
manifesto.
only come out once a week.
Do a gig.
Got a beard down to my legs.
But you organise a lot of like outback gigs and stuff.
yeah, I love it.
Do you remember that guy? You probably don't remember. There was a guy called Jimbo who just used to travel around. He had a pet goat.
Yeah, I watched the doc because we were going to do a gig where he did one.
Yeah.
Far out. Where was it? Yeah, it was in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Oh, mate, you were telling me you did Burke, which is,
Yeah,
as you said, the back of Burke. But you actually pre-organise the gigs, don't you?
yeah.
You ring up and get some money off them and accommodation. And
Yeah, we know like a couple of months out where we're going to go. But a couple of the towns we've been to, we'd be at one town and we'd say they go, where are you going next? And we go, oh, up this so and so place, and they go, oh fuck, they'd be worried about us
And
because they were so rough, the towns.
were they?
Yeah, some of the ones in the outback, they're like, oh, really?
And were they rough?
You going up there? Oh, yeah. They were, but they, like they're just people.
Exactly.
Like,
Well, you're saying what happened at the Burke? There were 10 cops sitting down the front, and then a fight broke out.
yeah, there was like 10 or 12 cops in the sort of front row while I was on stage, and a fight broke out in the front bar, and someone come out and yelled out, "Fight!" and like,
It's like being at school.
so all the cops just took off, and I just put the mic back in the stand, sat down, and kept drinking 4X.
And you didn't go back on?
Nah,
No.
that was the end of set. I was like 5 minutes in.
Well, Jimbo, I don't think he pre-organised stuff. He used to drive around with his goat,
Yeah,
and then he used to just go to the guy in the pub, "Can I do a show in the main bar tonight?"
yeah,
And just set up his PA, and then he'd start having a crack at people
Yeah.
and get in a fight, a heckling fight,
yeah.
and then do his show where he would get people up on stage and
Yeah, and
they'd strip and
I wonder what he would charge for just rocking up.
no, nothing. Then he'd hand the
Oh.
bucket around at the end.
Oh, he'd probably do alright then.
Yeah, there's blokes chucking in $20 and.
Yeah, and he probably.
But I don't know if he still does it. I haven't heard of him for a long time.
Did
But
the goat have to be there?
he had the goat in the ute.
Just
Yeah,
a pet goat.
yeah, pet goat.
Oh, yeah.
I
Alright.
don't know.
So there's a thing on YouTube with him with the goat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we watched it.
I just remember. And what was it?
I can't remember the pub we were meant to go to, and it got called off. This pub, I think it had shut down.
Yeah, right.
One of the ones he'd done had like population 27 or in this place, and he'd done it. I think Nick Kappa said, "Are you going there?"
Oh,
And
you
we're
going
like,
there?
Yeah, he's like, "Really?" Like he even said it was
Kappa.
rough as.
Yeah, well, he's from near Moree. So
Yeah, he's from there.
he's from up those parts.
Yeah,
Dad was a cotton farmer. Oh, he's been on this podcast. But yeah, I remember seeing a woman who used to work at Triple J wrote a book and that said, "This is the story how I fell in love with a man who travelled around the countryside with a goat doing comedy gigs." And I thought, that could only be Jimbo. That must be him. She's written a
Yeah.
book about him.
was he like? So that's how he made his living.
Yeah, and he was a good comic. I remember seeing him at normal gigs. He was good, but a bit of a maverick, a bit of a
I don't know
maverick.
what the thing with the goats was.
I don't know, but did he bring the goat on stage? I don't know.
It was in there. It was inside. I'm sure of it. I'll have to look him
Bit
up
of a
later.
novelty.
Yeah.
Well, I asked questions. What gig are you doing in Swan Hill?
It's a footy and netball club.
Oh, that'll be all right. That'll
Yes,
be
I
fine.
think Swan Hill Footy and Netball Club, I think, yeah. Yeah, it should be alright.
It'll be okay.
They've been planning it for a while, so it should be alright. I haven't done much in Swan. Have you been to Swan Hill? You would have.
Yeah.
Any swans?
No. No hills.
Like
Mate,
Deer
mate,
Park.
do that joke, mate. Do that joke.
The Deer Park.
There's
one.
no deers, there's no parks.
Yeah.
So where are the swans? No, Swan Hill's very flat.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. It's a bloody long way, though, from
I always
Melbourne.
look up famous people from the area.
Great idea. Great idea.
Because we did up near. Because you know where Molly Meldrum's from?
Oh, yeah, he's from in the country somewhere.
Yeah, Quambatook.
Quambatook, that's right.
But John Williamson's also from Quambatook.
Yes.
It's good to know these things when you go up
Oh,
there.
should have done it tonight.
They-
Whaler.
they're similar age, so imagine if they went to the same primary
That's
school.
hilarious.
The best one was Dimboola. We did Dimboola, and I went for a walk like 5 in the morning around the town. And it's tiny. You can get around the whole town in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But Tim Watson's from Dimboola.
Oh.
Timmy Watson, but Merv Neagle, another Essendon footballer, premiership player, was from Dimboola as well.
Wow.
And they did paper rounds together in Dimboola.
Wow. Two Essendon legends.
And then they ran around on the MCG and won the premiership.
That's
right?
incredible.
Yeah, from the same paper round.
Don't go looking through that hole. That's a John Williamson song. I did Spicks and Specs with him once, and he told me he lived in the CBD in Sydney in a flat. He goes, "Don't tell anyone."
That's not. Yeah, I don't like that.
He goes, "Don't tell anyone."
Yeah, you got no. If you hear me,
Old man Emus live in fucking.
It's like if you found out Slim Dusty lived in Yarraville.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, he's living in Coburg. What?
He's not from the country. Oh no, like Keith Urban's not from the country.
No, he's from Kabul. He's from like Gold Coast.
Yeah, that's not country.
Oh no, not really. No, but
I'm not paying that for country.
he went to school with Rusty from the Scaredies, Scared Wheeler Guys.
Scared
Oh,
me.
you know the Scared Wheeler Guys? They're a
Yeah.
musical duo.
Oh yeah,
funny guys.
yeah.
Yeah, Rusty, and they were from.
But don't you reckon if you're doing country, you should be from the country?
Yeah, I reckon. But then again, you've got an affinity with the country.
But
So-
I don't say I'm from the
No,
country.
you don't.
Do I?
You don't.
Keith Urban plays the country card.
Yes, he does.
Anyway.
Mate, I met him once. I did Sean Michaela's Tonight Show on Channel 9, the last episode before it was axed.
Yeah.
Me, Keith Urban, and Ricky She bangs,
Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin, who
And-
kept talking about how he had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I just went down to Great Ocean Road with my girlfriend. She's very beautiful.
Really?
And then we come back from an ad break and I go, "Have you got a girlfriend? You sure?" I also said she bangs. What's that about?
Was who was prettier, Keith Urban or like to look at, or Ricky? Ricky's pretty, isn't he?
Yes. Actually, you're right. They're both good looking.
Keith Urban would be small, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's not a big guy. He's smallish. Yeah, you're right. Not a big guy.
He's
Not a
got a
big
soft
guy at all.
voice.
Yeah, Keith Urban. Okay, I'll ask you my questions I ask everyone, all right?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. You ready? What went well tonight with the gig, you reckon? What went well in your set, or what do they like?
What did they like about
Yeah.
me? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they kind of related to me because they knew I was. They said you're laid back. Like one lady came up and said, "You're laid back like us."
Yeah. See, again, your country.
Yeah, that's what she said.
If I saw you and I didn't know you doing stand up, I would go, "He is from the country."
Yeah. So I think that went. That's a good. Yeah. That's
What
a good
what
thing.
didn't go well?
I did. Well, I did a joke that I did it in the wrong order. Remember that?
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, but I kind of go. I'm too far in. I can't.
Yeah.
not do this. So I had to try and. So I told them I made a mistake. And then my sister said that bit was funny though. So
That was really funny because
She goes,
people
"Did
love
She
that.
goes, "Did you do that deliberately?" And I'm like, "No, I
Mate.
fucked the joke up."
That was funny.
Yeah,
Because people, when you finally finish the routines, they all clapped.
yeah.
They bloody loved it.
So that
Shows you're human.
didn't go too well. I mean, yeah, it didn't go well, but I recovered it.
Was there any organisational hazards getting away?
What's that?
You know, anything technical or... Well, we had a cordless mic.
Yeah, well, we did. We should have checked the sound and the
We
lights.
should have. Because the lights kept changing colours while we were on stage.
Yeah.
Like a disco.
So that probably didn't go ideally, but all
Well-
up, nothing stood out.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good setup. So none. I can't. What do you think? Like,
We should... Look, we got there at 7:30. We looked in the room. There was about 3 people sitting in there. If
Yeah.
you're a real pro, you would have walked in, checked the lights, checked the sound. Instead, I got cornered by... I saw Lisa Payne, who I used to live near as a child. I used to hang out with her brother David.
Oh, you knew her
Yeah, she was a local spunk. Yeah, of course.
back in Mitcham.
Back in Mitcham. And I was talking to her, then I was talking to...
I knew a girl in Mitcham,
Who?
Anne Winstanley,
Oh, I don't know that family.
Lucknow Street.
Oh, I know Lucknow Street. Yeah.
she lived there. We met her in Rosebud at the Fig Tree Caravan Park back in the 80s, and
Well-
we went to her house in Mitcham, and I guess who lived in that street as well. He was famous.
Pat Cash? No.
Nah.
Oh,
Who's famous from Mitcham?
Oh, Lucknow Street. Who's famous from Mitcham?
I mean, it depends.
As a tennis player?
Nah, footy.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Jacko.
Oh, Mark Jackson, of course. Yes, he's from Mitcham.
Yeah, he lived there. He lived in the next house.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yeah,
I was pretty chuffed with that at the age of 10.
I'm an individual. You can't fool me.
Yeah.
He used to run a car yard in Ringwood. That's right. Jacko.
He made a good, weird life for himself.
Oh, mate. What happened to him?
Lucknow.
He was touring with Warwick Kappa for a
All
while.
gold mines and stuff, and yeah, he still does that with Kappa. I reckon they still do it with Ricky Nixon and stuff.
Yeah, my
They do their
God.
things. But were you near that part of Mitcham?
No, that's near Mitcham High. I was over the other side of Brunswick Road.
Oh,
Parents
yeah.
are still there. So
Yeah.
I was at the Heatherdale kind of end. But I know where Lucknow is because I had friends around there.
Yeah.
And I used to deliver pamphlets, so I know a lot of the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would wander those streets, mate. We would wander those streets.
Yeah, Anne Winstanley.
No, I don't know her. But she'd be younger than me, probably.
She's like 52, I reckon.
Yeah, should have known her. Definitely
Yeah.
used to hang out. I was 50 or 56, so would have definitely. Depends what school she went to, though.
I think she might have gone to a girls' school.
Yeah, but still could have hung out with her.
Probably saw her at a party.
Probably. Would have
Made
cashed
out.
her. I don't think
Made
so.
out.
Now, how can we do better next time? That's my last question.
Yeah. Check the sound.
Yeah, check the sound of the light.
Check the lights.
We are idiots for not doing that. Anyway.
It was alright. No,
we
not
were
bad.
fine.
Done
We were
worse.
fine. We did really well.
Done
They had a
heaps
great
worse.
big crowd there. It was awesome.
It was B plus at least, I reckon.
Oh, mate, I'm going for an A. I mean, it was great.
Alright. I'll listen to
I
me.
bloody loved it. I should have bloody
Do you ever
take my album.
do you record your sets? ever?
Nah, I have in the pubs, but nah.
I recorded, so I'll have to listen back.
Yeah, have a listen back.
See what the crowd was like.
Yeah. No, they loved you. It's
Yeah.
good. Billy Stiles, thanks for coming on the podcast.
No worries, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.